So, hope you're all able to view this video. Let's wait for some time. So I believe that we can start the program. Hello everyone, and a special hi to all the dear young IGEN innovators. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sathish, the Director of Operations of a firm called Sucsus Solutions, which is into US healthcare backend operations. So to tell a few things about me, my personal interests are being with kids, to be involved in their brainstorming, fun-filled activities, improving their skills on various aspects. I love to be engaged with kids with activities like playing any kind of games, getting involved with science kind of projects, mechanical projects, doing some drawing, painting, having fun, dancing, singing at times, and many other things. Because like the kids does anything with so much of joy and happiness. So, so at this juncture, I would like to thank Dr. Ramesh to give this opportunity to be a part of IGEN Innovation Army program. I sincerely appreciate Dr. Ramesh, who's leading this IGEN Innovation Army with his supportive friends, for initiating such a thoughtful vision for the society in the process of creating young innovators for a peaceful green world. It's a great boon for all the kids to have such a program designed in developing the creativeness and innovative skills from them in a very fun-filled, effective way, which I feel that the current education system should also adapt. I feel so glad to see all the kids participate with so much of involvement, and I just admire the way they present all their activities. There is so much of energy, creative skills, and confidence in each one of you. Really, hats off for all the kids who does such a wonderful job. Now, coming to today's topic, I wanted to share a few tips and ideas for developing the creative and the innovative minds in you. As many of you have already rightly defined what creativity is and what innovation is, creativity is thinking up new things, and innovation is doing new things. Creativity is intelligence having fun, and innovation is a process and not a product. No doubt, this generation kids have a lot of creativity within you all. There is one more important thing which is most needed for developing these things. That is nothing but can you see this? Habits. Yes. We need to create certain habits for developing these skills. Your habits determine your future. We are what we repeatedly do. Then if we start focusing on excellence, it is not an act, it becomes your habit. So I'll just list down one point by point and discuss on each point. So let's start with the first point. The first point is maintain a keen sense of curiosity. You'd have seen kids who normally asks a lot of questions to their parents or to the relatives or friends, like what is this, why is this, how is this. So that is curiosity. Okay, the most innovative people in the world asks a lot of questions, like the other rest of the people would just take everything for granted and move on. But these innovators always are looking for ways to improve things. Instead of relying on preconceived notions about things and people, they prefer to look at new things they have encountered from various perspectives. Say, In my olden days, I remember like in the kitchen, my grandmother used to cook with burning the sticks, dry sticks, and later on there was a kerosene stove, and few years later the kerosene stoves was replaced with gas stoves with two burners, and later it had three and four burners, and now we have induction stoves which helps in our fast-paced life, so some people have often thought of improving this kind of things, and that's the reason we have come with newer and newer innovations. So there is no prescribed formula that will help you adopt to such kind of curiosity. It is just that you have to make a conscious effort of questioning everything that you come across. If you don't get satisfied with the answers from your nearby people, with the magic of internet, Google, YouTube, there is nothing that you can, for any questions you get the answers, right? Isn't it? So always it is equally important that you keep conversing with different people. Say like you might encounter, when you're conversing with different people, you might get to know about their perspective ideas, and sometimes it's not that they might always support you, they might also have a different viewpoint, and you believe me or not, that is a greatest insights for your ideas. So keep looking out for questions like what, how and why on whatever you observe daily. Okay, so let us move on to the next point, that is listing out ideas and thoughts. In your day-to-day life, if you observe keenly on everything, you need to capture it, organize your ideas and thoughts as you go about learning new things. Now you have to try listing down everything that comes to your head, including such any kind of words, sentences, phrases, like even it might be questions, ideas or images. So ideally, when you try linking all these thoughts together and try to get a picture out of it, you will get to know what your subconscious mind is trying to say. Remember that innovation comes from creativity, and creativity is about how you associate the different ideas and facts together. As you list down your thoughts in your notebook or rough note, no matter, even it might be absurd idea, like you have to see that as a piece of puzzle to your inner world, which would potentially spark of an inspiration. Not only does the act of penning down your ideas keep you track of your thoughts, it can even stimulate your thought process and lead to one new idea after another. So allow your imagination to run wild. Okay, for example, many of you would be going on a bicycle to your schools. So if you keenly observe the functioning of your bicycle, like how you pedal, how this force transforms into turning your wheel, and how you are able to balance, and what's the time taken difference between the walking distance to your school and when you go in your bicycle. So when you keenly observe this and start listing out all your thoughts, your questions, your ideas and all, it might stimulate to come up with a new better idea of the existing one. Maybe you might be thinking about attaching an electric battery with motor to your cycle. Naturally, if you start asking questions to yourself, and even though you might not get ideas from your nearby people, you can start researching in the Google, and there is a big source for stimulating in processing your ideas to the next level. So always have the habit of listing down things. Okay, so let's go to the next point, that is seek out new experiences. Sticking to things that you are used to in the same manner limits your thought process and perceptions. Say you get up in the morning, get ready, eat your breakfast, then go to school. You have the routines there. Your schools has periods, teachers comes and goes, and then in the evening you come back, have snacks, and then do the homework. And of course you will never miss this, I know that, watching TV and having some time with mobile and then going to bed. See, if this becomes your usual same kind of routine, this limits your thinking process and ideas. To think outside the box, you must step out of your comfort zone and look at the scenario in a different light. As a matter of fact, great innovators are often individuals who learn from different fields and merge together into to get something extraordinary. If you talk about Steve Jobs, he innovated and revolutionized technology to make a very user-friendly Apple iPhone. Some of you might even think that seeking out new experiences means traveling abroad, going to Iceland, uh, just going to Mount Everest. Well, it need not be that way all the time. All you have to just do is try new things and stimulate your mind and senses. So what you can do is perhaps you can start reading books of different genres. Some might be interested in novels, some might be interested in comics, some might like to know something else, and also pick up a new hobby for yourself. If you see yourself as an introvert, suppose you don't like to do anything, you just want to sit idle without talking to anyone, please try challenging your self-perception and open up meeting new people. You will develop new skills for innovation in this process. So start seeking for new experiences. Okay. So let's move on to the next point. That is practice mindfulness. In the context of psychology, the term refers to moment by moment awareness thoughts of feelings, the bodily sensations, the surrounding environment in a non-judgmental manner. In the essence that it's a continuous process to pay attention of what's going around us and being more accepting of whatever it is that we experience through our senses. So with this conscious effort, bringing attention back to present, we train our mind to focus on the present and not let it wander from one thought to another. Besides making you happier, practicing mindfulness helps clear our mental clutter and makes receptive to new ideas of innovation. Let me tell you a small exercise to practice mindfulness. Okay, say you can start with 5 to 7 minutes initially and then extend to 10 to 15 minutes. So what you have to do is just go to an undisturbed place, sit erect, engage in this mindful exercise by simply relaxedly breathing, and you have to simply focus your breathing, okay, consciously, without diverting your mind anywhere else. So by doing this, you incorporate mindfulness in your day-to-day activities by fully being conscious of whatever you're doing at any given moment, focusing on only one task at a time. So when you're eating some dish, you can relish each bite of it and appreciate the flavors. When listening to someone, maintain your eye contact and truly listen to them what he or she says. So once you start noticing these minute changes in you that you have never focused before from your surroundings, you will become a better sharpening and person, and you will start expanding your ideas. So kids, start practicing mindfulness. Okay, so let's move on to the next point, that is take risks and make mistakes. So one thing that separates innovators from the herd, from the other group of people, is that they are not afraid to make mistakes or take risks. Everyone should be knowing about Thomas Alva Edison, who invented the light bulb. His school teacher had said, this is got from the quotes from his stories. His school teacher used to say, it seems, that he was never good enough to learn anything. And when he came to the job, he was thrown out of job twice, saying that he was non-productive. Could anyone believe this? Like, he failed at least 10,000 times in the process of inventing the light bulb. He succeeded because he didn't give up despite failing over and over and again. So he was successful because he saw failures as part of learning process while he experimented with his ideas. So innovators like him see mistakes as opportunities for protecting their innovations. So keep pushing your boundaries. Innovators have to try taking risks and should not fear about failures. For example, Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard University to finish his Facebook project. He would have never thought that his innovation would become such a big potential to change the world, isn't it? So venture out, kids, take some healthy risks, and don't worry about your failures. Okay. So let's move on to the next topic. Next point. The next one is share your ideas. You will definitely need some feedback, no? Like when you do something to improvise, you will always need some feedback to know how you can do it much better next week. So you need to get feedback about your innovation. So keep sharing your ideas to people you encounter and see what they have to say. Face your fears and do the talking, even if your ideas are at the beginning stage. Sometimes you have just thought of an idea, but please share with them. The people might have got good ideas better than that, and sometimes people might laugh at a proposal. You have to learn that the mistakes and rejections are part and parcel of innovations. So you will take these criticisms in a right stride and even capitalize on them to improve your ideas. Even if people don't have anything too good to say about it, talk to them, share your ideas with them alone. Like that will stimulate you to get more of your creativity senses and possibly give new insights. Okay. So say for instance, once upon maybe a year back, I came across a kid who was a relative of mine. His grandfather used to water the garden every day, and I think it used to take about more than an hour or so. So while I was having a chat with him or something, he started joking with a jovial said part. He said that his grandfather every day he's standing just watering the plants for 1 hour. Then I was just asking what can be done. So he was asking why don't we systemize using some pipes extensions, putting some sprinklers here and there with some angles, having a motor switching on and switching off and all. Maybe he had seen somewhere this kind of sprinklers anywhere, and he would have developed the idea of bringing it into his garden. He even went ahead to show a picture how it would look like. I was really impressed and I appreciated him, and we started going through much more ideas in the Google. So sharing such talks would give you more insight for your ideas. So keep sharing your ideas, don't feel bad over it. Okay. So let's move on to the next point, that is stay persistent. You have to be persistent in your mission. Sometimes it might be tough for you, there are people who are uneasy with change, will advise you to settle for the standard old pattern. Say example, as I said, your earlier example of cycles, of thinking about putting an electric motor with a battery. You have to stay persistent even if you're not getting the right kind of encouragement from the other people, because when you start experimenting, mistakes and failures are inescapable with different ideas that don't work the first time. So during all these roadblocks, you should have faith in yourself and should stay focused. Some people may call it unrealistic idealism, but creative innovators like Thomas Alva Edison had to find 10,000 different ways that didn't work before succeeding in creating the light bulb. He determined to reach his vision and didn't give up despite having failures again and again. So what I want to say is, write down what you wish to accomplish and look at the list every day. That remind yourself why you are persisting. Identify and visualize the moment you achieve what you want. Just suppose if it is a cycle, just think about you're fixing the batteries, you're fixing the electric motors, you're referring to things, you start seeing that the electric motor is working, then you can see that accelerator pushing and your bike has started moving, and you smile and you are happy. So you have to visualize all these things together, and it might sometimes be cheap but repeating such positive affirmations daily will help you manage your morale and keep you in high spirits in times of setbacks. So stay persistent. Okay, so let's move on to the next point, that is take a break at times, taking break. So focusing on your goal is really great, but sustaining attention on a task for an extended period of time can suppress your creativity. At times you might need to take some breaks and naps to relax your mind and maintain a favorable environment for creativity and innovativeness to settle in. Take some of your breaks alone by going for a walk, cycling, and getting involved with some kind of hobbies, or indulge in daydreaming to connect with your subconscious mind. It is such a quiet moment with yourself that you will be able to catch those aspirations that you are looking for. So do take breaks. Okay, so let us move on to the next point, that is create a psychological distance through imagination. You at times have to distance from your ideas. At times creating a distance involves shifting the way you think, uh, dealing with the problem, such as by means of adopting another person's perspective and imagining hypothetical questions that might seem unreal or unfamiliar. Considering the broader aspects of the problem, it facilitates abstract thinking and helps you come up with unique association. So just check out how several studies have shown that the psychologically distancing yourself from your task can make you come up with more creative solutions to the problems. Okay, the final point, that is build on existing ideas. Innovators don't just invent something very new, they always build on existing ideas. As a matter of fact, many products that we see today are a result of merging two or more ideas or concepts together. A good example would be the mobile phone or the smartphone. Initially, if you're not seen, I would say like when I saw the initial mobile phones would just have the keypads with a SIM card where you can just talk voice and voice. We can talk like voice over exchanging of voice between the persons from the distance. This later on was integrated with advanced computing capabilities and the internet connectivity to get us the smartphones and the Android phones. And you know, the most used by everyone and the most in a day-to-day basis, it is these smartphones have become an addiction. Addiction in the sense it can be used in a very good way, and it's a great innovation, I would say. So the true innovator must open him or herself to as many potential ideas as possible, identify the patterns and connect them, and finally you have to get to come up with something more innovative which is better than the existing one. Suppose they give you a science project in your school, say with the topic of magnetic field. So you know that with magnets you can make the lights glow without any external power, and you can make the motor run. So you can assimilate all these ideas together to create maybe a vehicle with a motor which with wheels and which has lights and things like that. So ultimately what I would like to say is genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. So you have to do all the hard work on your initiative ideas, and with such lovely creative and innovative kids, I'm aspiring to see wonderful changes in this planet. It is so hope you have now understood the few points that I have discussed. Now I think it's come to the end of the session, and hope these points are helping you, would help you. I will also share this 10 points on the WhatsApp to you, so that you can follow on these habits. So when you follow these things, then you might come back and you might need to focus more on the habits that you would have missed out. Okay, so it was great pleasure to talk with you all and share some tips with you all. I once again thank Dr. Ramesh for giving me this opportunity, and wish everyone who's associated with IGEN a great success. Okay, so if I am not sure if anyone is having any questions. If you have any questions, please do post your queries, or let me see if anyone of you have some questions to be typed out. Okay. So what I would suggest is, if you have any queries, you can post the queries. But I think these are a very simple habits, which what I would say is, just list it out and keep following it, and just practice each habit. And I'm sure this will definitely change you in a much better way. So all of you, stay safe at home, enjoy your quarantine challenges, and bye to all the young innovators. And thank you so much. Thank you.